Viewers and subscribers, Sunil Gavaskar has taken a dig at West Indies fast bowlers. Or should I say pace attack, where he basically styling the West Indies pace attack as net bowlers. My people, if it's the first time on the channel, I really appreciate if you could just like, comment, share, and hit that subscribe button. You understand? Because people, it's not the first. We expect a lot of people to speak out on this situation, according to the West Indies, because everybody thinks that West Indies is their beating stick. West Indies is the team for them to pick on, and voice their opinion. And, you know, uh, it is what it is, don't the people. But he said, looked more like net bowlers than international ones. Sunil Gavaskar, unimpressed with West Indies' toothless pack, or should I say pace attack, bearing one pacer. So, following the first test conclusion, we all knew that West Indies' pace attack was always going to be weak, and without the likes of Shamar Joseph and Alzar Joseph and Odin Jaden Seals as the only strike are the only pace bowler guys. Joan Lane just making his debut. Justin Greaves is classified as a useful all-rounder, so I didn't think that Sunil Gavaskar had to make something out of this, guys, to be honest with you, because it didn't call for, we already knew that we were suffering because of the loss of these two players, and yet you still choose to bring it up. Like what the hell, man? Everybody clearly see that West Indies team is weaker than India, right? But why are you bringing up the pace attack? We saw that we suffer a couple injuries, and we people understand. But come on, but let's hear what he said, right? I'm sorry about that. So, um, former cricket commentator turned former India cricketer turned commentator Sunil Gavaskar, West Indies pacer. Let's zoom in on the story I like, guys, before I even quote the article to you, right? So, Jaden Seals was the only West Indies pacer who got a wicket in Ahmedabad Test. Sunil Gavaskar criticized West Indies pacers for not bowling enough bouncers. So, India's legendary batter Sunil Gavaskar was left unimpressed by West Indies' current pace attack and their approach in the opening test of the series against India in Ahmedabad. The timid approach from West Indies pacers bearing Jaden Seals made Gavaskar compare the pace attack to net bowlers not of international standards. Gavaskar wondered why the Caribbean Pacers a long time to bowl their first bouncer of the innings, letting the Indian opener settle in the middle. He said that the Indian bowlers were stepping down to the visiting Pacers as if they are spinners. Mighty father. So he basically was saying that the West Indies fast bowlers didn't have the pace to trouble India at all, and they were just in a little beating stick or in like a practice team, they were walking down to fast bowlers and even walking, when I say walking down, guys, and approaching the ball meanwhile the fast bowler is bowling. Can you believe that the West Indies had no pace? But he said to see their new ball attack in the first test in Ahmedabad was a shock to those who have grown up seeing the ball whistled past the batters' noses at least 2 or 3 times in an over. In Ahmedabad, apart from Jaden Seals, the other two were simply toddlers who looked more like net bowlers than international ones, Gavaskar wrote in his column for Sports Star. He further went on to say, no disrespect intended to them, but to see the first bouncer being bowled after half a dozen overs had been bowled made one ask, is this really the West Indies pace attack? Yes, bowling bouncers is a big effort, And on a hot day, it can take a lot out of a bowler, but it is a surprise weapon to stop the batters from moving onto the front foot regularly. India's batters were not only on the front foot every ball, but were also disdainfully walking down to the pitch to the so-called quicks as if they were spinners. As said earlier, test matches are a lot of hard work with not much reward, so why give it the extra effort he asks? So, mighty father, people, I don't know why, guys. Why all of a sudden everybody decided that it's time for them to speak on the West Indies situation? We all see and know that the West Indies is suffering because of injury, right? And not just that, we haven't really developed anybody else to really step up to the plate. You understand? Apart from the season campaigners, but come on, man, don't throw salt in the wound. But um, in the absence of an injured Shamar Joseph, young Joan Lane shared the new ball with Seals. Lane remained wicketless, fast bowling all rounder. Justin Greaves lacked the intimidating factor as well. While Indian pacers got wickets, West Indies premier pacer was only able to break the opening partnership with Jahiswal wicket. Gavaskar and the West Indies batters lack a fight. Gavaskar is unhappy with Surrey's stage of affairs in the West Indies camp following their defeat by an innings and 140 runs. He slammed the Caribbean batters little effort to dig in their heels. Bearing Alec Athanas and Greaves, he feels that they would have faced more problems had they faced the duo of recently retired Ravindra John Ashwin along with Ravindra Jadeja. He said, even in the batting, there was a little effort to battle down and fight it out. Only Justin Greaves, to some extent, in the both innings and Alec Athanas in the second, looked at like they wanted to grit it out. And it wasn't even a pitch like last year, where the ball turned from day one. There was some turn on day three, but nowhere near as threatening as when Ravindran Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja made laughing stocks of some of the best batters in the game. The 76-year-old Open. The Rastan Chase led side will have a point to prove when they take on India in the second test of the series at Arun Jetli Jaitley Stadium, Delhi, commencing on October 10th. You understand? So, my people, I'm just the messenger, just really let you hear what Sunil Gavaskar had to say about the West Indies. Leave your thoughts down below. Alright, best up.